Let's explain using components in Fusion 360 and why you should do so. So we can start off by making a component, or we can first make a body. Let me first make a body so I can show both ways. Then we start with a sketch as per usual. Let's just do one bolt and one nut. Let's start with the bolt. I'll just make a circle from the top. Let's do that 10 millimeter. Okay. And let's just extrude that. Let's do it, let's say 30 millimeter in length. Let me put some texture on it or some color. Okay. And at this point I want a head on the underside, so I just click on the underside, just on the face like this, and create a sketch again. And then I give P for project, and I hit the body and I click OK, and then I go to sketch and polygon. It doesn't matter what polygon you use, and just drag it out. We're gonna use some constraints, so let's do horizontal at this guy, and then put some dimension. Let's make it 17. Stop sketch, extrude, pick two profiles, make it 5 or something. Okay, and let's just make some threads. Create thread, hit the guy. I want it modeled, and full length. No, I don't want full length. I want yeah, something like this, maybe. Not so important. Okay, and I want to travel back in time, so because I want a chamfer on top here, so let's just do 1 millimeter chamfer first, and then do the thread. That's better. Okay, so now I have this bolt, and I want to make a nut. And instead of just starting modeling a new body on top of this guy, I want to start with making a new component. So let's do that, and let's just say call it nut. So now we are activated. This component is activated, and so everything we do now is inside this component. That means we can export this component later. And I want to start, it doesn't matter where we start. We can use the bolt as reference if we want to. So, or we can just turn the bolt off and just start modeling the new component. Let's do that, because we know the size. So start with a circle, 10 millimeter, and let's do a polygon, 6 side, and just make it horizontal, vertical, doesn't matter, like this, and some dimension. Make that 17 as well, and extrude this guy. Let's do that 10 millimeter, like that, and we need some silver on it. Let's make it another color so we can see some difference. Let's go to steel. Yeah, just steel, whatever. Not so important. And again, threads. Make thread. Maybe we should do a chamfer first. That one and this one. That one and this one. Let me check under this one. Control and click like that. Okay, and then the thread. Just do S and thread. Click inside. And modeled full length. Okay. There you go. So now we can go outside these components. Let's go to the top level, activate the top level. Let's turn on the body. So now if we grab the nut, we can move it around. So this is now a separate component. We could go to the nut and export it if we want to. We can export it so it becomes a separate component. So we could use that component in other assemblies also. So that's the point with this. And also we can now use joints. Let me also show you that we could, let me travel back in time to the bolt, and let us just do this body into a component. This is not necessary, but I will just want to show you. So this is a bolt, and right click and create components. So this means that we can also move this around. So we can revert, and if we want to ground it, we can ground it. Then it is stuck. It's like it's pinned down. So now this doesn't move around. Sometimes it's useful to do that, sometimes it's not. If you have a bigger assembly, you want to ground something. And then just bring the nut in. Let us just put the nut over here and capture the position like that. So, because I want to show you how to use joints. So go to assemble and joint, just joint, yeah. And let's just use the top face here. You could do it on the underside, but that it doesn't make a difference. And I want to have the center. I can use the edges. I can use this edge, or I can use the plane and hit Control and hover over certain points. But for circular references, it's easy to just use edges. So now I've chosen the first component and that edge, and let me just pick this edge. Now you see it's not the right way, so we want to flip it. So go here and make flip, and then if we want it to be in a certain way, we can rotate it here. So I can rotate it like this, so it's the same. And maybe I want it higher up because the threads does not go so far down. Let me just maybe put it here. And if I'm satisfied with this, I can also choose revolute. I can also choose cylindrical, so it travels up and down, and just hit OK. So now we have a nut that travels up and down. So then we have a nut and a bolt. And we can turn off the bolts, or we can turn off the nut. And we can export the nut. If we do export the nut, so we can export it locally or in the cloud. and use it for other projects. So that's what's nice about components. Hope you enjoy.